Hi, thank you for clicking on the video. As you can see, we're going to be talking about Dreamgirls today. Now, as per usual, if you've never seen Dreamgirls and you don't like spoilers, jump off of here, go watch Dreamgirls, and then come back. But if you don't care, we move on. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, Dreamgirls frustrates me. It's just so much BS that go on in that movie that I really have to be in the right mood to watch it because I love the movie. Don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. You know, they have great music. I love a good movie with great music. Okay, but yeah, it's a good film, but that's the issue. Like the actors was doing their jobs, okay, because with everything that was going on, they pissed me off. And you know, when it comes to movies, when I'm creating a video for a movie, I try to rewatch it just to make sure that I remember everything I want to say, and that the details I want to bring up, you know, I can bring up, right? And I'm not getting information mixed up. But I tried to watch. I tried to watch Dream Girls, and I just was not in the right mental space to deal with it. So the moment that the first sign of BS showed up, I turned it off. I ain't even gonna lie. But I did notice something that I didn't notice in other rewatches, like, well, other watches that I've done of the movie. And this is a hypothetical or like a theory, but I think at one point Cece might have actually had a thing for Dina. Like, I think he either like had a crush on her. Maybe they liked each other. Who knows? But he definitely, I feel like, liked her. There was just this one little moment, right? And it was the way he was looking at her and like the way he was in her face. Like it just seemed like maybe a crush type of vibe. But I don't know. That was the first time I noticed it, so I just thought I'd mention it real quick. But yeah, uh, the movie start off on BS. It's BS from the start to the finish, if we being completely honest, because they come in, they late, and they have to convince the person to even put them on stage, right? And then even the dude, I'm gonna be honest, that dude that Curtis was like, oh well, you know, $5 you don't let the dream mess with. He was like, oh, they wasn't gonna win anyways. Like I don't think they was gonna win whether Effie stopped him or not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say Effie didn't see what was going on. Let's say Dina didn't stand up for herself or something like that, and he was allowed to just do whatever he wanted to do in his creep shit, right? I think they still would have lost. He still would have cared to go out of his way to make them win. Cause you just being a pervert, that don't mean that you finna let them win. You know what I mean? Like I think he always planned to just be a creep, and that's it. Like you know. So it was just that was annoying. And also, we see during this little sequence, Jimmy's background singers are dipping off because the one he was messing with finds out that he was married. Let's jump into that a little bit, um, cause she had just found out. But the issue I'm having with this is when Latrell went to the back of the bus with him, he said everybody know Jimmy married. So how she didn't know that Jimmy was married, but he's saying everybody know that he married. So and this is another issue that I have because mind y'all, this happened in the span of 1 week. Okay, he tried to go to her. He tried to go to the front of the bus to go and talk to Latrell. Which, boy, what is wrong with you? Like you on some mess going to the front of the bus where majority of the people is, and they gonna hear your conversation. Like you're dumb. But that and Latrell let him kiss all up on her, and then she confirming that he was married. You know, because you had to suspect it that you asked, right? Or like he said, everybody knew. So you know, you just was trying to confirm it. But that was 1 week of them being on tour. And this man said, I guess it'll take 2 weeks. And I'm assuming it actually only took 2 weeks. The most it took was 3 weeks for him to get Latrell. Like, girl. And I didn't want to hear that. Well, she was young. Also, I think Latrell was like 17 problem. But let's say she was 18, which I'm pretty sure she was like 17 when they started working with Jimmy. Either way, don't give me that, oh, well, she was young and she was just impressionable. When I was 17, 18 years old, I was not that impressionable. And I definitely wasn't attracted to no married men. Like, please, just no. It comes a point where you have to be like, common sense, you know what I mean? And she was interested from the start, and that's why she allowed things to, progress. Because if she really was like, oh, well, you married, I'm not interested in that, then nothing would have happened, point blank, period. Because he didn't give the vibes of one of those creeps that would try to force something, He actually wanted consensual, intimacy between the two. And she allowed that to happen. So she was definitely just not a saint. And I don't know why she even pretended, girl, you knew you was gonna go. And you was all up in that man's face. Just as much as he was all up in your face when y'all first met. You was all up in his face. Speaking of people being up in each other's face, let's talk about Curtis and Dina / Effie's first meeting. Okay. This man, you see him and Dina first meet, and Dina is treating him like the executive back there because she knows she late. So she's talking to him, and they both seem to be making some type of eyes, but she's more so worried about being able to get up on the stage, so she's just being professional, and this man is Google-eyed, right? And he sees the conversation that, is going on with Effie and the two girls, and he knew in that moment he had to get Effie to, somehow do what he wanted, bend to his will, right? And what do you do back in those days when you want a woman to listen to you? You make her your woman, because back then, in those times, you had to. There were actually certain laws in place where you had to listen to your man. And we see that she kind of like, she went cuckoo for Curtis Puffs, so to speak, like he really had her down bad. And the issue that I'm having with it is he took it too far, knowing that he didn't want to be with her in that way. This man sung a whole song later in the movie to Dina talking about, when I first saw you, I said, oh my, that's my dream. Which I'm pretty sure that is what he said in his head when he first saw her. But it's the fact that you knew what you were doing. He literally planned every little detail, even to the manager of Jimmy's original manager. I can't remember that man's name. But even to him, dipping off. He wanted control of Jimmy as well from the start. This man had a plan, and he literally followed through with it. And the fact that he took it so far that you played in Effie's face in the way that you did. Mind y'all, his sisters was bigger. And I don't like the fact that they was trying to constantly call Effie fat, because I think the woman who played in the play version, she was much bigger than Jennifer Hudson was. But I'm not 100 on that. I think she was just a little bit bigger. Not a lot, but I don't really remember. I saw like small clips of that. But Effie was not fat. That girl was thick. Okay, she was curvy, but she was not fat. Stop it. Like, stop. She was bigger than Dina and Latrell, but she wasn't fat. But standing next to them, you gonna call her fat, right? And so it's just unfortunate. And I'm gonna be completely honest, because if I was your sister and I find out that this bullshit went on between you, Dina, and Effie, I'm beating your ass, and I'm beating Dina's ass every time I see her. You better not ever bring her around to the family function, because I'm not accepting that bitch as family. Fuck you, fuck her, and don't come around here with that mess, because how dare you do that? And then you sitting up here, you play in this girl's face on purpose, because he knew that Effie wasn't going for no BS, so he flirted with her, and he reaped the benefits of being with her, to the point it resulted in them having a child, which I love. I actually love the fact that Dina's karma for doing that to her supposed to be best friend was that she wasn't able to conceive children. Yes, deal with that fucking karma because you deserve that shit. She wanted a child bad as fuck. She was begging Curtis for a kid, and we know it was her that was the problem because Curtis had a kid with Effie. So his soldiers were definitely marching, but your eggs were fucking standing still, motherfucker. Like, she deserved that shit. Yes, you do. Like, no, y'all freaking raggedy as hell, bro. Like, I couldn't stand those two. And then, you know what pisses me off the most? This girl is singing a song about how much she loved him. In the moment that she's singing this song, this nigga is checking out Dina while she's in this dress, and she's like, yes, check me out. I feel more powerful because he's checking me out. Fuck both of y'all. Like, I can't stand them. They get on my nerves, and they are the main problem for me in the fucking movie. I'm gonna be completely real. Like, and this is the crazy part, because when you really go and, like, when you look at that scene when they're like kicking her out, y'all know Jimmy wasn't there. And I'm gonna be completely honest, he was a very unfaithful husband, but he was quite loyal in business, and he didn't even want his original manager to leave. His original manager, I wish I could remember his name right now, but his original manager left because Curtis was just having them like he kept butting heads with Curtis, right? And like getting Jimmy to do the opposite of what would be best for him in dude's eyes. And I mean, I think what it was, he knew the road that Curtis had Jimmy on, which is, I'm gonna get the benefits of you while you're popping, and then the moment you're not popping anymore, I'm gonna set you aside and just, you know, hey, that's it. Point blank period. And which is what happened, by the way. That is one of the factors of why Jimmy ends up, so yeah, I think his original manager saw it coming and didn't like it, but Jimmy didn't want him to leave. He wanted him to stay on as his manager. He wanted him to go to the top with him, okay? And honestly, that was the only person that he really could trust, especially in that particular moment of time when they're all still a little struggling and just starting to climb up. Like, that's when you really need somebody of substance and somebody who is actually loyal to be there and have your back. And that dude was that person for Jimmy. And it's unfortunate that Curtis was successful in getting him to, say, all right, I'm done with this. You know what I mean? And it was so irritating. Even with that, like, Curtis was so damn annoying. Like, Jamie Foxx played the fuck out of that role to the point that he lucky that I can, keep my feelings to, about TV and film separate from the person, because he could get slapped every time I saw him in real life. I never seen him in real life, but say I saw him regularly, he would get slapped every time just for the role of Curtis alone, okay? Like, no, but no, he did his job and had everybody just turn every which way but loose, okay? And that leads me to talk about CC bitch ass. What type of brother are you? Like, first and foremost, I don't understand how they convinced you that your sister was the problem. Okay? I'm trying to wrap my head around exactly how they loop you into this, because you should have been the main one having her back. The moment that they was talking shit about her behind her back, you should have been like, hey, no, y'all not finna do this, because I too would be mad if you was fucking around on me with my best friend behind my back in front of my face, because they thought they was hiding something, but they wasn't doing too good of a job because they was all out in the open. Mind y'all, who wouldn't be mad about that? Who wouldn't be mad about your best friend and your men sleeping around with each other, pillow talking on how to fucking destroy your career but build hers up? anybody. So I don't know why the hell CC thought this was a good idea. And I wouldn't accept his money either. I agree with Effie. And that may be petty to say, but no, I don't want your money, because that's not genuine. That is guilt money. You're sending that money because you knew what you did was wrong. You knew what all of y'all did was wrong, and you're feeling guilty still. That's it. You know it was some bullshit. And to accept that money is basically saying, oh, well, I just accept what they did to me. And no, she should not have accepted what they did to her. If it was me, I probably would have just gave that money, like, donated that money every single time. Donated it to, like, homeless shelter or what. I don't know what was going on back in the 60s, but I'm sure you could donate money still. Like, you know, give it to, like, orphanages. And, hey, you see a homeless person on the street. I don't know how big homelessness was back then, but you could just give it to the homeless person. I'm not spending a single piece of that money on myself at all, or my child. No, if the old man wanted, he can keep it. Like she said, like, you can keep it. I don't want it. That's guilt money. And I'm not about to make you feel good about yourself. Mind y'all, he was right there saying, oh, no, you're the problem. You're making all of this go down the drain. But who did you run to the moment you needed something done correctly? Oh, was it Effie? Did you run to Effie the moment that Curtis was fucking over literally all of your songs? You went to your sister because you knew she would do it right and trust in your judgment and sing the song right. Which is what she did. I love Effie's version of that song, One Night Only. I like the other version too, but I have to be in a dancing mood to, you know, really want to listen to it. But One Night Only, the Effie version, the Jennifer Hudson version. I'm saying the character's name, but that version is literally on my playlist. I love that song. Okay, like, so yeah. But I don't like that you sat up here and didn't have her back at all. But the moment that you want something done the way you want it done, you go to the one person you can trust. And the sad part is, she should have been able to trust you, and she couldn't. She couldn't trust none of y'all. And I'm gonna be completely honest, like, Latrell was on some BS. This my thing. The girl who they had to replace her, I don't remember what her name was. She was quite irrelevant to me because I ain't like her ass either. Like, you should have, when Effie said, well, how much did you put out to get in? You know what the situation is right now. It's messy as hell. So Effie is mad. She don't know you. And you don't know her, and you don't fully know what's going on, but you see that this is a moment between some people who, you know, built some shit together, is going through, and instead of actually walking your ass off, you decided to join in on bashing her. No, continue on walking off. No, go back to, I'm not in this. I don't know what's going on. Yes, you don't know what's going on. So I don't care if Effie says something to you. Turn the fuck around and go to the back until everything is settled. Because that ain't got nothing to do with you. You don't have no right to say anything about Effie. You don't know what the hell she's going through. This girl just found out she was pregnant. Didn't know she was pregnant. Going through hella mood swings because of her hormones. Her man is cheating on her. She got pushed to the back even though her vocals were the fucking best and the strongest and would have killed every fucking song. Like, and this is the thing about it. The whole point in a group, and this is a girl group or a boy group, the whole point in a group is to have multiple different octave ranges, okay? So that with the different songs y'all got, you can have the different individuals sing certain songs. I'll give you an example. So in Temptations, right? The Temptations. There were certain songs that Cornbread sung the lead on. And then there were certain songs that David Ruffin sung the lead on. Two different vocal ranges, two different points in times when they wanted them as leads. Same thing. Effie should have been the lead on majority of them songs, especially Heavy, because am I the only one that heard them motherfucking vocals? Okay, she should have been the lead on that song. I don't give a damn. And there were probably certain songs that Dina could have been the lead on, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and this ain't even trying to be shady. There were more times where Latrell could have done lead before Dina. Like, this nigga Curtis literally just put her on lead just because he fucked with her like that. You know what I mean? It was some bullshit. And like it and then you want to wait until the and I was so like her reaction when she found out that Effie got a child by Curtis. Yeah. Yeah. Eat that shit. Jaw dropped. Like, girl, ridiculous. Like, but yeah, I don't know. That is mostly what I want to say. I don't really like. This is my thing. I don't really have much to say about it. I know I say that in this video is pretty long, but I mostly just get so frustrated when it comes to the movie. You know what I mean? And then you want to wait. Like, I don't like how Dina waited until her needs weren't fulfilled. Like, you're feeling a very, like, soft, like, version of what Effie felt. Because at this particular point, you're still getting your way. You know, he like, oh, I don't want you doing this movie. I want you doing another movie. That wasn't the case for Effie, okay? He was like, oh, I don't want you doing this. I want you out the way. You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't about you not doing anything. It was about doing what he wanted you to do, but you would still have success in what you were doing. That's the issue. And you want to wait until you can't do a movie that you want to do? Then now you want to feel bad that y'all still stole Effie's song. Bitch, you stole her man. Like, you want to feel bad about a song? Make it make sense. Like, now you want to do what's right. Okay. Yeah. Whew. And then I feel so bad that Jimmy killed himself because it was such a premature thing. He know damn well Latrell was gonna take his ass back. She was in love with that man. Like, she was down bad for him. Even though I disagreed with their relationship 100% because he was a married man. And I definitely think he didn't care about his wife in any capacity. I think he was in love with Latrell as well, and he definitely should have just divorced the wife and gotten married to Latrell. Like, he literally, I don't think he was messing with any other woman outside of Latrell and his wife. Like, he barely saw his wife, so technically he wasn't even messing with the wife. Like, this man was damn near committed to Latrell. Like, with all of that, you might as well just cut the wife off and let her have you to, you know, herself. Like, I don't understand what he was doing, but like, I just, in the moment, he like, oh, this is it. And I don't, this is the thing. Maybe he wasn't even trying to kill himself. Maybe he was just so mad that he ended up overdosing. But maybe he wasn't actually trying to, like, end it all. It just happened. But you know damn well you shouldn't have been mad about Latrell breaking up. She probably broke up with you every other week, boy. Like, come on now. Y'all probably had that argument once a year. Like, stop it. You know she was going to take you back. But, yeah. I think that's all I have to say about this movie. If I do have something else to say, I would probably make a reel about it. Because I don't think it would be long enough for another video. This video has been long enough. In fact, I think this is my longest video yet. And if you stuck around to the end, I thank you and I appreciate you. And yeah, tell me what was one of your favorite Dreamgirls songs. That's what I want to know. If you made it to this part, what's your favorite? With that being said, don't forget to like and share and subscribe to the channel because you know there's more on the way. And with that being said, until next time, bye.